I'm done with dating apps and I want to meet somebody in real life. So today I'm meeting up with some friends at the bar and they're coming in like 30 minutes. I got here early because I'm going to sit at the bar and look approachable. See who comes. You never know.
Approximately 10 hours later.
So a lot of you asked me how it went when I went to the bar alone because I'm trying to meet somebody in real life and look approachable. Listen, not one man, only one actually. One man was sitting at the bar. And then his date joined in. So it was not successful, but I feel like there's so many good date spots in LA to go and sit at a bar alone and have a man approach you. So that is our mission this week. My friend actually gave me a recommendation because another one of my friends went to a bar, sat alone, got dinner, and then a man sat next to her and she got his number and they're going on a date. So we're gonna try there.
Well, best of luck to you. Maybe it'll work.
What's your age?
32.
What do you do for work?
I'm a divorce lawyer.
How long have you been a divorce attorney?
Since 2016, I've been practicing, and then 2017 officially barred.
Do you think that sexless marriages can work?
No, and 100% every single time. I mostly work for men, so every single time they're in a consult with me, I'm always hearing, I haven't had sex in 10 years, I haven't had sex in 5 years, I haven't had sex in 15 years, and I'm like, here we go again. The sex talk every single time. So it's like you need to make sure you're doing it 2 to 4 times is ideal.
So a lack of sex in these marriages is the most common theme that you're seeing when they end.
Yeah, because it's connected to more of that. It's not just physical. It's like, all right, well, if you're not into someone and you're disgusted by them and you're pissed off at them, you're not going to be having sex with them, right? Because you're going to be unattracted to them, you're going to be irritated, and you're not going to be into them. So you're not going to be banging them.
So why do you think people stay in these relationships for so long?
I think they stay in it just because it's comfortable and it's easy and it's really hard. This is marriage is a breakup on steroids. Like if you're going to get a divorce, it's not just like I'm moving my bye-bye. It's like if there's kids involved, forget about it. It's like your whole life is upended. It's a major decision. Your family's affected. Your life is affected. Half your crap is gone. So it's a little bit tougher than with just a simple breakup.
Do you think that marriage is outdated now?
I don't know about outdated, but it's a more acceptable to get divorced, right? Because we're seeing it a lot more. It's not taboo.
Would you say that divorces are initiated most by men or by women?
Women, 90% of the time.
Why is that the case?
I think that they yap with their friends, and I think they get real frustrated where guys are like, I'll get to it tomorrow. And I think the women just get in their heads and they're like, all right, I'm done.
What I hate about dating, I feel like when it ends, you should have to fill out a survey. I want to know what I could have done better, what was maybe a deal breaker for you, how could I improve the next time, And I feel like you don't really get that feedback. So you're just like, I guess I'll just do the same thing that's not working for me. But I don't know what to change because no one's ever told me. So I
have a question for all of the dads. And I'm not trying to, this is not trying to be mean, not trying to put down. I really genuinely have, I want to know what you guys think. So my husband and I recently, we went on a little date night. And it was really fun. And we got to connect like we haven't in a really long time. We haven't been without children in 8 years. Because we're military, we don't live by family. And it's really hard for us to get out of the house. Or I have a very hard time with people watching kids overnight that, I don't know. I'm just very protective of my kids. But so my mother-in-law was able to come and she stayed with the kids overnight. So him and I could go on this overnight. One of the things he said, and I know that it wasn't meant in a hateful, nothing like that, is I was like, remember when, 10 years ago, this was us. We used to go on, adventures and this, we did this stuff a lot more often. And he was like, yeah. And then you made me have kids. And I know it was a joke because we were just we were happy. We were just bantering back and forth. But he's also said things like that before. And he loves our kids. And I have no doubt about that. And I'm not saying that at all. But is there a little bit of, because I know women and men feel differently when emotional about children. Do you guys ever regret having kids? Truly regret having kids? And I know that that's like, I'm not meaning it to be mean at all. But I think sometimes my husband kind of wishes that it was just me and him and we could have that bond that we used to have all the time and not split our time apart between all of our kids. I don't know. Maybe I'm not questioning this right at all. But I don't think I would ever say that or even feel that way. Sometimes I get overwhelmed with the children and I'm like, oh my God, I know now why moms run away. But I would never not want them or even feel even a little bit of that because they're like my entire world. But I don't know, maybe because guys are not the ones that, you know, have that connection emotionally because we grow them, we birth them. We are literally their whole lives for the first 1-2 years. So maybe they don't get as close as we do. I don't know. Men, I'm really trying not to be mean. I'm not trying to call you out. I'm really not. I just want to know where your thought processes are because sometimes I wish I could know exactly what my husband thinks or means. And now he'll never tell me the straight up truth about exactly what he's feeling or exactly what he's thinking because he's afraid he'll hurt my feelings. So I just really want to know what y'all think.
Couple of good comments, but I'll read one from Gregory McDaniel. He said, "You answered it for yourself. You said your kids are the most important thing in the world to you. He knows that. He feels that. He feels like he's second, he's third, he's last. He misses his wife, and this is understandable." Ultra Enigma comes back with a comment to that and says this is the correct answer and what she was looking for. But she disagrees with the man's perspective. I guess she knows more than us on what we think.
I've been cheating on him for 3 years with his best friend. We had 2 kids, 3 and 6 years old. And he could have walked away, should have walked away, could have. And when all this came out, and I hid it for 3 years in the church, when all of this came out, he looked at me and listened. A good therapist knows your feelings are valid and you can feel all of those things. He was mad. He was hurt. He was confused. He was disoriented. All those things were still true. None of that was underscored or not a part of his experience. But what was also a part of his experience, because he had been submitting and surrendering to the Lord so faithfully for so long, was he literally looked at me and all I expected him to do was exactly what every man had done in my life, my dad, all these other men, was to leave. And instead he looked at me and he said, "Casey, I don't know how to not love you." That is when Jesus became my Lord. That is when I got grace for the first time in my life. I realized that is what Jesus had been saying to me.
You're not even about to play with Jesus' name like that.
Bro, what? They will say anything to avoid saying sorry.
My friend John just posted a video, and it was not just posted. He posted a video a couple whiles back talking about how men can get DNA tests off of Amazon to test their children. They don't even have to tell the baby mom type. He mentioned that in the comments, there was reactions from women. Most of the reactions I saw was, "Why would you go and do that? You don't trust me" type. And the other ones weren't really rational arguments. They were just kind of hooping and hollering in the comments. I've said this a million times over the course of my social media platforms that I believe that DNA tests should be mandatory at the time of birth. Because if it's mandatory, then the woman's feelings don't get hurt about "man don't trust me," but then the man gets the 100% security of knowing that the person that he is about to be financially responsible for actually belongs to his genetic pool. You feel what I'm saying? And I caught a ton of backlash on that one. But I think the bigger thing that people are escaping to remember here, if you are one of those women in the comments hollering about somebody DNA testing your kid, that gives me the belief that you are hiding something. And I'm not saying that's necessarily the truth, because if you take it to the fact that you're not hiding anything, but you're like, well, he doesn't trust me, put it this way. If the roles were reversed and the man was the one producing the child, right? And you guys, you know, could be the mom, maybe not be the mom. You would want that 100% certainty. It's not that far-fetched of an idea. Anywho, as I said, I will stand 10 toes down on it. At the time of birth, it should be required. DNA testing, paternity testing should be required at the time of birth. Solves a lot of problems down the line. Have a day.
I'm on a date right now. This man is the worst first date ever. No, I got 4 in a row. He's actively trying to break the game because I'm red. I got 4 in a row. And he's literally taking it out. He is weird. This is the worst first date I've ever been on.
Somebody asked me like, okay, why you always do content on the man's side? Why you never do content on the woman's side? Because these be having tricks up they sleeves, and I'm not naive, a dumbass. I see through that. That's why these be tricking, okay? Tricking y'all and making it seem like just the problem all the time, and that don't be the case. How I know? Because I done dealt with good ass bro. Never had these problems. It be y'all ass. Oh my grandma, y'all ass be slow. Y'all ass be doing too much. Like, just play your role. Be what you supposed to. Cook, give a little ass. It ain't shit to keep a like, it's not shit to keep their ass. It's not shit to keep their ass happy neither. But I know it's gonna be a bit back. Oh, you'll do all that and they'll still cheat up. Get another one. Simple. Get another one. Get another one.
I did the pettiest thing ever today. It might have been influenced by my postpartum hormones just slightly. But you know what? Your girl stands on business. I don't give a f. I was already in a bad mood, feeling down, okay? And my boyfriend just happened to be there, saying the wrong things at the wrong time. Men tend to do that unknowingly. They don't mean to say the wrong things at the wrong time, but that's how it comes out. And I don't care that it's the man that I love. I done called him out on his even if it might not have been really bull. At the time it felt like me, so I called him out on it. Not to go into too many details, but it got on the subject of marriage. Wrong time to be talking about that while I'm fuming with postpartum hormonage. It got to the point in my head I felt like smoke was being blown up my ass. So I told him, I said, I am only changing my name one more time. Either it's your name or my maiden name. I'm only doing it one more time and then I'm not changing it ever again. You know, because I still had my last name from when I was married 5 years ago, you know? I felt like at the time that he was just telling me what I wanted to hear, and that pisses me off. Do not smooth things over with me just to make me shut up. So this morning, I went to the Social Security office, and I changed my last name back to my maiden name. Petty's. Do I love that man? Yes, I do. Do I want to marry him? Yes, I do. And will I take his last name? Yes, I will. But your girl stands on business, okay? I'm not going to let him call my bluff. I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do, and I did it. Why? Because probably postpartum hormones, but you know what, I'm mad. You know, I wanted to get it done anyways for licensing purposes because I'm finished with my schooling, because I ain't giving that dumb left nut of an ex-husband any gratification to his family name, okay? Me. I did it. Nothing to pertain with him. So I wanted to do it anyways. But you know what? Sometimes being petty gives us that little push to do what we want to do anyways. And his response to when I told him I changed my name this morning was, well, you're just gonna have to change it again. See, it evens itself out. He calls my like I call his.
This is what I be telling you, and this is a really good example of what a lot of modern women do. Just stuff out of spite. They know they wrong, but they just do it anyway.
The Bible says that it is not good for man to be alone. So now that you know that, are you going to go against the word of the Lord, or am I picking you up at 8? What?
Okay, see, the problem with the 100 man versus 1 gorilla question, which keeps popping up for some reason, is not that it's a stupid question. It is, but that's not the problem. The problem is that a lot of humanity's greatest achievements have been achieved on the back of men doing something incredibly stupid. Like, think about the power of flight, right? For all of human history, we have not been able to fly. And women, we looked at the birds and the gods and we thought, well, we are not birds and gods, so why would we fly? And then men said, I'm going to figure that out. And then they died. A ton of them died. Most of them died. So many of them died. And every single time a woman was like, see, that was stupid. That was dumb. But then one guy stupidly nailed it. He had the right amount of stupid impulse to incredible amount of ability. They intersected. So the point is somebody suggested some gorilla, and I think that would actually work because the gorilla would be subdued.
Y'all are mad that men are going to get in there and figure it out one way or another.
This is why I don't go on dates. I'm too tender for first dates because this will make me swipe the for me. To open your messages though, like I don't give a fuck. I just met you. Are you for real?
Tender? You're talking about slapping the shit of a man you just met on a first date. And if that man should slap the shack out of you, then you're gonna play victim and make him the bad guy. That was extremely weird behavior. The fact that you took this man's phone when he got up and went to the bathroom to try to go through his messages and you just met him makes you a weirdo. That's the reason why you're single. That's the reason why you shouldn't go on dates. Just imagine that man doing the same thing to you and trying to go through your personal messages and he doesn't even know you. And then you try to justify it with your actions in your comment section when women was calling you out, telling you how weird that behavior was. You definitely shouldn't go on dates because you're trying to break into people's phone that you don't know, you weirdo.
And another thing, I just want to know, why do women think that just because they're malicious, probably more malicious or just malicious, and that they're sneakier, that means that they're smarter than men? Baby, please go have a damn seat. 5, several. Please. Baby, have a fucking chair at this point because it's not a brain cell there. It's not anything that makes sense. Like 1 + 1 is 2. A + B = C squared. You know, it's just, this don't make sense of what women be saying here in America, y'all. Thinking that they're one-up when you're really in red. Baby, you're in red. You're in the negative, ma'am. You're in the negative, baby.
Y'all want to talk about men can't handle rejection? No. Women cannot handle rejection either. Because no is still a complete sentence, even when it's from girl to girl. Y'all can understand that when it comes to men. Y'all will talk about how I don't owe you a smile, I don't owe you da-da-da. But as soon as you ask a woman another question and she says no, it's, well, you're not a girl's girl. The whole woman who's not sharing her boots thing, now all the women are like, oh, she's not a girl's girl. And y'all are the girls' girls. But it's, okay, let's all buy these boots, go to that market where she is and just shove it in her face. That's being a girl's girl? Funny. That doesn't sound very girl's girl. But yeah, I don't think women really know how to handle rejection. And y'all do it to men, y'all do it especially to other women. And I don't like it because I should be able to tell you no. And it just be like, okay, I shouldn't have to over-explain myself to you to why I said no.
So if you didn't know what she was talking about, this is the video in question. I might not play the whole thing, but basically the gist is she went up to a woman who was with her boyfriend and she asked what boots she was wearing. Woman was kind of rude, but in the end, a no is still a no.
I had one of the most unhinged interactions with a girl that I've had in a long time today. And it's just so weird to me because I think I forget that not every girl is a girl's girl, because I'm definitely a girl's girl. All my friends are girls. And so it's weird to me when I meet a girl that's not. So I was at the Silver Lake Flea Market today. For the past few months, I have been looking for very specifically vintage cowboy boots with a heel on, similar to like vintage Christian Dior or Isabel Marant. They're just very hard to find. And I saw this girl today and she was wearing this killer outfit, super cute little crop with these like baggy jeans. And then she had her pants tucked into the coolest rhinestone cowboy boots. They were circa 2000s. They're perfection. So I went up to her and I was like, girl, your fit is fitting. You look amazing. I've been looking for boots just like that. Where did you get them? And what brand are they? First of all, she acted like I was attacking her. I was like, oh, hey girl. She was like, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to like startle you. And she was like, oh, it's fine. She was like with her, I guess, boyfriend or something. And she's like, my cowboy boots? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, these boots? And in my brain, I'm thinking, no, boots on your hands. But you know, I want to find out where these boots are from. So I'm like, yeah, the ones you're wearing. And she was like, oh yeah, they're cool, right? And I was like, yeah, they're amazing. Like I've been looking for boots like that forever. And she's like, yeah, see, the thing about these boots, can't really say. And I was like, you can't really say what? Get my phone out, whatever. She's like, yeah, I can't say where I got them. I was like, oh, you don't remember? And she's like, no, I know where I got them. No, like I know where I got them. Okay, so are your boots in the witness protection program? Like what's the deal?
And basically, she continued on like that for a little while longer because she didn't want to accept a woman's no. At that point in time, oh, okay, and then leave. Was the woman rude? Probably, but a no is a no in any tone and any form. That's what y'all tell men.
This is the story of how I drove 45 minutes to see a girl and I turned right around because she wasn't ready. So we made plans at 8 o'clock. I show up at 8. I am there. I was going to pick her up. And she goes, oh, I'm just getting in the shower. What? At this moment, I had two choices. One, be a bitch, sit there and wait, probably wait 30 minutes for her, and then go on a date, pay for her, and just know the entire time I'm not respected. Or two, pack my locker and leave. You can guess what I did. Literally the moment she sent that, I turned around and I said, you know what? I only want to engage and spend my time and money with people that respect my time. Take care. Blocked her on everything. She ended up finding me on all these random apps, trying to message me, saying she was so sorry. And then when I wasn't accepting her apology, she started to say that I had subconscious trauma I needed to work. This is how manipulative women can be. Guys, never ever tolerate anything less than punctuality. On time, on the date, save your pride.
I think some of the worst people to walk this planet are the girls who are part of the Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook group and will use it to their advantage to learn things about the guys that they're talking to. But if the guy that they know or they're related to is posted in there, will go and tell them. Like, this is a group that's literally designed to protect women. And the one rule is not to tell the person who's posted. And they go and do it anyways. Like, I've literally probably could have avoided so many such bad situations, but I didn't want to post the guy because it was like, God forbid someone tells him. So if you've done that, I hope you have a horrible day. Because genuinely, what the fuck?
It's called being a good friend. There was a woman that said, I saw my own dad in one of these groups and I still didn't tell him. They called him short and emotionally stunted. LMAO. What a loser.
This Florida nurse was caught in the act with her 15-year-old stepson. Her name is Alexis Von Yates. She's 35 years old from Ocala, Florida. So it happened on July 26, 2024. Her husband's son had been visiting them for about a month. And apparently in the weeks leading up to it, she was really flirty with him and making a lot of weird comments and jokes. Like one time they had gone to the gym together and she said, I bet everybody thought you were my boy toy. And she would make comments about stepmom X-rated videos. So the night that it happened, her husband was working late. She got her two small children in bed and then shared a THC vape with the stepson, and then they began playing video games. That was at around 11 p.m. And then a couple hours later, she turned on a movie, but not long into it, she began telling him how bored she was, and also that she was because it had been 2 weeks. So he apparently started playing with her hair, and then they began cuddling and making out. Then when he got on top of her, she apparently said, "Aw, man, I wish you were 18 because you're just not old enough." But it obviously didn't bother her too much because things began to escalate, pants came off, and then there was oral followed by actual. But then things got interrupted when her husband came home. They heard something in the garage, but then kept going. Suddenly, the door began to unlock. The front door is directly in front of the couch. The child victim recalled running to the bathroom with his pants around his ankles as his father entered the home, seeing his wife with no bra on and a blanket covering the lower half of her body. The child victim's father saw the child victim running to the bathroom and yelled, "What the F is going on?" as he threw things. The victim told authorities that he heard his father yelling at the suspect, and she told him, "I'm sorry, he just looked like you when you were younger." He drove his son over to his grandparents' house for the night, but she called him the next morning. And on that phone call, she apparently told him that she wishes they hadn't gotten caught and that his thing looked a lot like his father's except with younger skin. She proceeded to give him a 7 out of 10 rating. Now check this out. She wasn't arrested until November of 2024 because the father never reported it. The police had received a tip from a family member who knew and was concerned about it. She received a felony count of sexual battery on a person under 18 and pleaded not guilty. She's currently awaiting her trial. And she can put that stethoscope away because it was just announced a few days ago that her nursing license has been revoked.
That's interesting. And they were hooping and hollering about Shannon Sharpe and the things that he was doing.
I don't know, it's something about like seeing that your man liked a reel and then another girl is like right next to him who also liked it. You know, like the little bubble. Be with her. You'll have so much in common. Be with her.
Somebody in the comments said, this app is so validating. Y'all are insane. Go get a life.
The reason that a lot of guys don't come up to women is because they're tired of the game. Because they know that you're just looking for attention. They know that you just want them to come up so you can then go, hi, ew, right? You know it. You want them to come up, make you feel good, make you feel hot. Ooh, I look good tonight. Oh my God, he like totally wanted me. I don't like him, but ooh, whatever. They're tired of that, right? And sometimes you'll even coerce it, right? You'll look at them, kind of like coax them over. You're not into them, but you're coaxing because you want the attention.
But women lack wisdom and awareness, and it's so disheartening that in 2025, I have to say this, that women lack womanly wisdom and they lack awareness. They are, I would say, they're intellectually intelligent when it comes to academics. Yeah. But when it comes to womanly wisdom and understanding how men function, they are bankrupt. And so we're dealing with this, and it's like, well, what do I do? I'm like, girl, how is it you walk around here? I'm a boss chick and I make $250,000 and I drive my Range Rover and all that, but you crying on my phone because of some man that you didn't have a standard with, treated you a particular way. Put that degree over here and be that smart girl over here, the same way you got it over here. What's the problem? It's because we've been taught to spend so much time being educated and being successful in the marketplace that the very thing that women crave the most, which is the love of a man, she has put no effort into that. He should just, well, because I'm pretty and I have a vagina and I can make a house a home and I can do tongue tricks and I can bear his children. So what does that mean? Every woman says that. We are in Atlanta. It's beautiful women everywhere. You gotta have more than pretty. What value do you bring to a man's life? Most women don't know that. How do you become an asset to his life? In exchange for what you want from him, what does he get from you that he cannot get from everybody else? That's where we're missing it. So your friend, girl, if you're watching, he played you.
But
I hope you didn't give him none. I hope you didn't give him none.
You know,
I mean, he was in the hotel room, so I think we can go to our own conclusions on
It
that.
got kind of crazy, but you made a point because he's speaking to a woman that has been deprived of something. I talk to so many women and they just like, yo, I can't even find a good conversation.
Because they're not good conversations.
Oh.
See, most women are boring. Now, ladies, y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know I'm for the men and for the women, so I'm gonna give this disclaimer. But most women are boring. Most women go to school, they'll go to work, they might be taking some classes to go to school. If they have kids, their life revolves around their kids and they go to church. Would you want to be a part of that life?
Not if they're not doing anything outside of that.
That makes sense.
So how can you say I can't have a decent conversation when you're not even interesting? Why would somebody want to have a conversation?
Listen, tell him that too. Because
that goes for the men too.
Goes for the men.
Oh yeah, that goes for the men too. Because I've sat and had conversations with men. I'm like, so tell me, what do you do for fun? Oh, well, I just go to work. Oh, that means you're gonna want me to sit around and watch TV with you all the time. And I like to get out and go and do things. So it's all about the man and the woman, men and women being interesting and being interesting and being interested in who you're sitting across from.
Right.
Most people don't even know how to ask questions to pull out information because they're not paying attention. Anytime I would go out, I would always study the man that I was with. I would find that little boy. So, because I knew if I could find his little boy, that's who I would be dealing with the most.
Wait, what is the little boy?
The hurt part of who he is. I had a quote, and the women, they lost their mind, and we always got to do the work. I said, if you heal the little boy within him, the man that you want will show up. I didn't mean do anything. I meant be exactly what that girl is being to you. Just being, and it causes you to heal because the presence, whether it's the presence of a man or a woman, becomes the healing. You start feeling like home with that individual. So I study people. Anybody that I'm with, I'm like, okay, let me see the most broken parts of who he is to see if I can handle that. Because we're all broken. Well, yeah, they need to do their healing work. Well, women need to do their healing work too. We don't know what a good man is until one comes in. Just like you guys don't know what the experience of a good woman if you've never experienced one. All of us have something. None of us has to be whole and healed to meet our person. Our person may be coming in as the physical being, that orchestrates the healing. But everybody thinks everything has to be all I's dotted and all T's crossed, and it doesn't.
I've been saying something similar to this. They can figure out business, education, how to get the money, but for some reason, they can't take that intellect or that know-how and change it to, now how do I treat a man? Even with a man telling them, this is what you do.
Men used to go to war. Men used to go to war, okay? Now they just beat their and talk about like, oh my god, who would win between 100 guys and a gorilla? Enlist, please! Oh.
Since no one else is saying it, I will. You can be married and still go on solo dates, take solo trips, do solo staycations. Being married does not stop that. I don't know where that came from.
Okay, so you know how men see us as like literal property, and I never really understood the mindset until I started seeing men in my Pilates studios as much as I do now. So like when originally men started trying out Pilates, I feel like they were always accompanied by their owner. You know when you see a little kid in public and then you see their parent, and you're like, oh, okay, like you're with someone. That's how I feel with men when they're like there, and then I see them turn to a girl and I'm like, oh, okay, like they're with somebody, it's fine. But when they're alone, I'm like, who is this stray man? Like, where is your owner? Who let you in? I have questions. I'm getting concerned. That's how I feel with men at Pilates studios, and it's finally clicked like, like apparently this is how guys view us at the club. Like, where is your man? And yeah, that's the comparison I make.
Interesting take. Dumb take, but nevertheless, interesting.
See, some of you women are being tested by men and you really don't even know it. The fact that you didn't pay for any of the dates, and it's not even about paying. Some of y'all didn't even offer to pay because a lot of these men would have paid for it anyway, but he was wondering, is she going to even offer? It's not about money. He's saying, am I marrying somebody who's going to serve me like I'm serving her? Even if a man is considering children, he's saying, is this woman going to take care of my children, or is everything going to always be about her? Is she gonna always, her needs are gonna always come before everybody? If you are constantly dating a man and your needs are at the forefront of everything, and y'all can't even ask these men, how are they doing? How is your day, sir? Happy birthday. Let me celebrate you. Or, hey, can I just take you out? It's Saturday and I got it and I planned a date for us. Y'all are not willing to show any love or service at all in a love capacity. I'm not talking about paying bills for people. I'm talking about whatever he's doing towards you, can you do it every now and then to even make this man believe this woman truly loves me? She's going to serve me. She's going to serve the family that we create. If that's not happening in the dating, some of y'all, you're already disqualifying yourself because you're appearing selfish.
Get mad at me for dating outside my race, but I was dating outside of my race because they was doing things better than my race. I'm gonna keep it 100. My Spanish,
better.
Well, not better, because I know where she getting ready to go. Not better.
I know you said they were doing things better. I want to know what better meant.
Not better. I'm gonna change that.
I'm trying to save you for the
I know
people,
you is. That's
for the
what
culture.
I'm saying. Not better for the culture.
There we go.
Right, not better. I was dating Puerto Rican. I was dating Dominican. I was dating African. I was dating all type of other really size American black. Right? They were doing way more of what we expect we want our woman to do more than our American. Our American got real comfortable with.
Give me some examples.
Oh man, I mean, their mannerisms are different. Like even my Indian one was from one of them countries over there, right? I didn't have to really say much to do and be treated like a king. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times with our own American black, they expect so much of us and what we're supposed to do. Like things like if we go out and eat and we just have a nice dinner, we can go anywhere and eat and get a nice dinner. It had to be Rue Chris, or it had to be this, that, or it had to be this, that. Then I get somebody that's just as fine, a Cuban or a Colombian. They don't care about nothing. They care about you and your household. Even though they still care about the money, but it's not about the money.
Right.
You understand what I'm trying to say? It's a difference. Not better, but sometimes we get tired of hearing, Birkin bags and sushi.
And don't want that. They keep on telling you, I want peace. I'm looking for peace. I need to have peace in my life. I don't want to come home stressed out. You telling me that I'm not good enough. I don't measure up. And that what I'm doing for you is perfectly fine. Not saying that I won't buy you things and try to do the best for you, But me trying to work my behind off, I always got to stress just to buy you that $2,000, $3,000 bag so we can keep up with the Joneses.
If you're a man, I have a question for you. Do you guys actually want a peaceful relationship, or do you secretly like the drama? I was talking to my guy friends the other day, and they were like telling me how like they want like the right girl and all this stuff, their perfect girl. And then one of them was like, yeah, but she needs a little bit of crazy in her. And I was like, what do you mean crazy? I was like, do you mean toxic? He was like, no, I just mean like a little bit of craziness. She's got to keep me on my toes, because if not, it's not fun. And I was like, oh, okay, so does that mean you like the drama? And he was like, maybe. I was like, no way does a man like drama. And then all my other guy friends were like, yeah, I see your point. Yeah, she's got to have a little crazy to her. So I was like, what? I thought men just wanted peace. Like I thought like they hated when girls are like acting crazy or like stressing them out or toxic, or you know. So which is it? Do you guys want peaceful relationships, or do you guys want like the drama and a little bit of stressing out?
You need to leave those men alone. They sitting up out here playing games, and listening to that advice is going to get you in a world of trouble.
Beautiful men can definitely like do and ruin your life. However, you know, when you're having grown-up time and he is satiating his thirst with your beautiful sweet nectar, and you look down when he's beautiful, y'all, it literally. Okay, sorry, I have to like compose myself. Okay, you know in National Geographic when like the lion is drinking from like the river or whatever, and the camera's like zoomed in on the face and it's like in slow motion, and I'm not gonna do it. And then the lion like looks up. Wait, that's not like weird, right? I'm not into like bestiality, obviously. A more PG version would be like a dinner with a view. It's like you're enjoying a really nice dinner, maybe with like nice company, and then all of a sudden you look up and you're like, oh my God, maybe it's like beachside or something, and there's like the colors and the blues and the oranges and the sun is setting, maybe the birds, and then there's boat sailing, whatever. That's really what it feels like. It's like you're enjoying the experience, and on top of that, there's a really nice view. So yes, you must. But I must warn you, if it's a situationship and it ends really badly, it's gonna take you some time to get over it. Just a heads up. Because unfortunately, you will never get those flashbacks out of your head.
Yep, that's what I thought you might say. You're going to fool around and go through all of this stuff, and then in a few years, you're going to say, where are all the good men? Well, it's going to be hard for them to take you seriously with you putting stuff out here like this. It's not a good example to set to young women.
Honestly, it's kind of scary to see there's so many people out there who are willing to settle or lower their standards for anyone that would give them attention. I'm in my late 20s, I'm 28, and I look around my friend group. I feel like a lot of them settled because they are afraid of being alone. I mean, it's totally valid to feel lonely, especially if you live in a bigger city like LA or New York. It's just hard to form genuine connections with people. But I'd much rather staying single and being alone than settling for someone just for the sake of being in a relationship or getting married or having kids. And what if I settle now and I'm gonna be regretting 10 years later and ended up getting a divorce? I do not want that. That sounds so messy. I do not want to get myself involved in that. So it's either I'm gonna be able to find my special someone, or I'm just gonna be ended up staying single and being by myself, and I'm fine with that.
The top 3 ways that I emasculated my ex-husband were control, criticism, and comparison. I controlled everything. I controlled our business. Anytime he tried to lead or work with employees, it was never good enough, which just leads into criticism. I criticized everything he did. Nothing he could do was good enough. And I was always comparing me to him. I was expecting me to be him, and I didn't allow him to be the man that he was, because it wasn't enough for me. Comparison and perfection were my standard, and it completely destroyed his confidence, his desire to lead, his desire to show up. It completely shut him down. And I played a big part in that. Now, he chose to be shut down and he chose to not stand up. However, I played a big role in that, in emasculating my husband and making him not show up. And then I complained that he didn't show up and that he was apathetic and didn't do anything.
And it's funny because modern women are telling you and would lead you to believe that it's only men out here playing games.
This comment scares me. To think that some men truly think this way still. This is exactly why I pay extra every single month to go to a private gym where they vet every single one of their members so I don't run into creeps like this at the gym while I'm working out in peace for myself. This is not normal. God forbid I want to put on a cute outfit and look at my pump in the mirror. I promise you, no woman is at the gym hunting for you by wearing gym shorts. Get a grip. I should be able to wear anything less than a sweat set, a full sweat set in the gym, without having to worry about watching my surroundings. Please focus on yourself in the gym.
To be honest, you can probably dress cute still and not wear what you're wearing. But a lot of times society teaches these women this is what looks cute instead of something that's more appropriate.
Y'all don't deal with women and how they nag because y'all like men, but it is exhausting. It's emotionally exhausting dealing with a woman who's highly neurotic, highly disagreeable. Everything bothers her. Nothing is ever good enough. She has a problem with every minuscule thing that pops up, and then she just exaggerates problems and issues to the point to where the only thing you want to do is get away from her. And that is a very real thing that a lot of men experience. I've dealt with it, and as I said, it's not intuitive when you deal with a woman after you've dealt with a woman like that and you move on to another woman. It's just heuristics. You already know, I've seen this before. I've seen this story before. This woman is going to be a headache, and that's essentially what we try to get away from. These women are migraines, and they created a lot of issues over the simplest things. You can't even communicate effectively with them because they're not willing to listen. They're not willing to understand, and they don't see the flaws in the things that they do wrong.
To the evolved men who've done the work, can you please start some sort of finishing school for boys? We have a boy epidemic. Yes, the loneliness crisis. Yes, femininity. We have extreme polarities in both sides. We have men and women who are simply not talking to each other anymore. This is all part of the dating craze. But can you just teach men how to have social skills a day? Because the only men approaching us in the gym are 80-year-olds.
Is it me, or is dating in 2025 freaking horrendous? It's wild out here. I don't like it. Like, I want a husband already. I don't want to deal with talking to multiple men. That's not me, and that's never going to be me. I can't do this dating. Like, everyone's ghosting everybody. Nobody's emotionally available. Like, it's so freaking exhausting. Like, you show up like you're supposed to show up, but there's that person with mixed signals. There's that person that don't want to do this. There's that person that don't want to put in the effort. But when it comes to talking to somebody and trying to be in a relationship, you got to put in effort. It's not about words. Like, oh, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do it. It's all about actions, baby. Actions. And honestly, a lot of us are healed. A lot of us did our work on ourselves. A lot of us learned to love ourselves. A lot of us learned to build ourselves as far as financially, mentally, everything. We learned how to be on our own, and we're okay with being alone. That's why a lot of us are still single. We're not jumping into relationships or jumping into with anybody that comes along our way. We are very picky because we are not going to tolerate. We're not going to tolerate people that are going to disrespect us. We're not going to tolerate people that are just all talk and not action. We're not going to tolerate liars. We're not going to tolerate nothing. We're just going to cut you off, and we're not going to talk to you ever again and move on. And like, that is exactly why a lot of us are single, because we healed and we're not going to tolerate anything. And then, but we run into those ones that are not healed, and those are the ones that make the dating scene horrendous. Those are the ones that just want to play games with you. Those are the ones that are not emotionally available. Those are not the ones you want to fit. And at the end of the day, you don't even want to be around those people, because if they have the balls to drag you through the mud or just use you for entertainment, those are the most disgusting people ever. And I would not even want to be around those people.
Just when you want to give them the credit and be like, oh yeah, man, this is great, there's always something that they say for you to be like, yep, there it is. Get ready for another 10 years having the same conversation with yourself.
Okay, I have to tell you why I went on that date on Friday with the guy that told me he was in love with somebody else, because when I say this out loud, it doesn't even seem real. So I've been seeing somebody for the past 2.5, 3 months, who I very much do like, but we got into a bit of a tiff 2 weeks ago and didn't talk for 10 days. So 2 weeks ago, he planned a really nice date. It was a Monday night. We had the best time, and he was so sweet. And then we came home. He lives in the building. So we came here, and he brought up the conversation of seeing other people. And I said, well, I'm not. And he said that he wasn't either. So I was really excited. Definitely not dating or together or anything like that, but very much only seeing each other. So Tuesday rolls around. Everything's normal. We're texting, bantering, just like we always do. And then Wednesday, the same thing. And then he texted me Wednesday and asked to hang out on Wednesday night. I said, sure, come on down whenever. We're just going to be cozy. order food, watch a movie. So he gets here and the vibe just seemed off. And it's not that he was being different with me. It was just something just seemed a little bizarre. So finally, I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are you here? And he goes, to hang and bang. To hang, bang, and go home. To hang and bang.
No, I mean, you don't have to explain to us why you're still seeing him and you still hung out with him. For one, he's probably really attractive to you. And so therefore, as a lot of men say, he can pretty much get away with anything, regardless if he's doing the wrong thing blatantly and he's telling you he wants to do the wrong thing blatantly. Also, you're thinking that you can probably steal him away from the other girl instead of saying, wait a minute, I'm looking for a man that's all in with me and I can confirm that he's not messing around with other people. But of course, with a lot of modern women, that's not really important to them. When they find out the man that's super, super attractive, they are going to take that type of nonsense. Well, how do you know that? Because they say straight up, well, if I'm going to go through all of this, then I want a rich man. Or if I'm going to go through all of this, and I want a man that is super attractive, and I'll do that. So there you go.
I love it when men admit to women what women have always known. There's that video going around of a man saying the hardest decision of a man's life is choosing between the 6 out of 10 who loves you and the 9 out of 10 you actually desire. I mean, women who are older know this, and we try to tell younger women this, and a lot of times younger women don't want to hear this. So don't listen to the bitter old cat ladies. Listen to the men who are telling you unapologetically they're going to marry the 6 out of 10. And they say it's a hard decision because they don't really want to marry the 6 out of 10. They desire and they want to marry the 9 out of 10, but they're gonna settle for the 6 out of 10 because she loves him and she's going to turn herself inside out. He doesn't have to work as hard. He's got her. It's in the bag. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. But here's the thing. He's always going to look at her as a 6 out of 10, and the one that he settled for that he didn't really want to marry, the one that he had doubts about when he got married to her. And it's not going to take real long before he starts looking for a 9 out of 10, while he keeps his 6 out of 10 at home, loving him and doing everything for him and making his life easy. Because, I mean, look, why not? He's got this in the bag, bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, and he's going to keep the bird in the hand. But look for 2, 3, 4 bushes.
You guys, in your mind, you think so limited about how a man sees the world. Just because you see something as settling doesn't mean that's exactly what it is. You guys speak slowly. You say a lot of nonsense. And because it sounds good and it's articulated well, then people, women in this case, tend to believe you. They tend to resonate with the experience that, quite honestly, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, at this point in time, it's not really that hard if you really actually sit back and think critically to avoid these types of dudes. Like, you can just start picking them off. Oh no, he's going to do this. Oh, stay away from him. Oh, this is the type of guy that we're looking at. But you guys don't want to do that. You want to sit in your nice homes with your glasses on top of your face and talk a bunch of nonsense. That's what you want to do. Period. End of story. If a man is saying, you know what, I love attractive, man, I would love to marry a girl that is a supermodel. It's just too much headache. Oh, well, you can't. No, I can, but I don't want to. It's too much of a headache. I don't want to be bothered with it. I want peace in my home. I don't want to come home every day to some entitled woman. People in general. If I was staying with one of my guy friends and he was always entitled, he would never really do anything, I had to bring home the bacon, then I would have a problem with it still. Why would I want to do it if somebody says, I'm committing my life to you and I want to do the same for you that you're doing for me, and then don't get in there and don't do it? Why would I want to be involved in that? Why would I want to be around that? Period. I'm going for the 6 out of 10 that you say that I'm settling for. If settling for peace, yes, I'm settling for peace. I'm avoiding chaos and drama. I'm going to have a nice life. My wife is going to be beautiful. We're going to have babies, however many we want. We're going to send them to the schools that we're going to work as hard as we can, have a modest living, and then we're going to we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. That's it. We're gonna be happy. And why are you sitting up here still eating bananas and avocados on your little toast and stuff like that, and talking about how you know so much about marriage and relationships alone? Well, we done gone ahead and lived a full life, gone on vacations. You still talking about nonsense. Bro, some of you guys got to get a life.
Thing though, like they really do. Why don't you grab my noodles? Did you come?
You still sleeping?
Boom, boom.
The noodle grab, it's something about it that's so insanely diabolical and smooth.